what's going on, world? This is Kane here with another edition of the Daily Drive. Today we're going to talk about something a little bit different. We're going to talk about something that, if you drive, you've experienced on a daily basis, probably. And you might sit there going, "Oh, I drive. What do I experience on a daily basis?" Traffic. More specifically, not necessarily traffic, but traffic jams. It's one of those things that, like, everybody, I'm sure everybody who's ever driven a car anywhere, hell, even if you've gone go-karting, chances are you've experienced some version of a traffic jam. And you know what? They're painful. They are upsetting at times. They cause you road rage. The whole thing. Traffic as a collective is just mind-bogglingly upsetting at times. And some of you will have experienced worse traffic kind of violations, we'll call it, than others. Some of you guys will be sitting there going, "Oh hell, the traffic where I live is nothing." Like, for example, where I live, where my house is, it's a small town of like 500 people. So like, a traffic jam is there's a tractor rolling down the road trying to go from field to field, and there's 3 cars stuck behind him for 35 seconds. It's not a big deal. However, where I work is a completely different story, and that's also just because of the demographic of where I live, or where I work. Sorry, like, where I work, there's 7 million people in the city where I work, something like that. Like, it's just a ridiculous number, and so like, traffic is, there's just too many goddamn cars on the road driving like idiots. So, take for example, this morning I'm driving along the road and I'm just kind of cruising along and I'm jamming out to some tunes. I think I was listening to some Bon Jovi or something like that this morning, because throwing it way back, like 92. And anyways, so I'm jamming out, listening to some Bon Jovi and just chilling and doing my thing, and all of a sudden I get up onto the highway and boop, come to a complete stop. Why? Traffic jam. And slowly putting along, put, and I get to a spot and all of a sudden it opens wide open. What happened? Chances are there was some jackass from like 3 hours ago who was up at the front of the pack and decided, "Oh shit, this is my exit," cut across and cut off some people. People started hitting the brakes, backs everybody all the way up. Or maybe it was just, who knows? It could be anything. Which kind of brings me to kind of an area of topic that I want to discuss with regards to traffic. And that's the actual traffic jam itself, and what kind of causes the traffic jam. So, if you've driven enough, you've all experienced kind of some version of a traffic jam. Whether or not it's an accident, whether or not it's just a phantom traffic jam or a phantom accident, it's construction. There's a variety of reasons that ultimately would cause a traffic jam, and all of them are just equally as irritating as the next. Nobody likes driving through a construction zone where the speed limit's dropped down by half approximately, and it's down like to 2 lanes versus 3 or whatever. Yeah, nobody likes that. But we've all dealt with it. And one part of the traffic jam that, is easily avoidable, and people really kind of got to get their heads out of their asses and get on board with this, is the looky-loos, the rubbernecking. Now, I'm not going to completely discourage rubbernecking as long as you're intelligent about it. If you're a single dude, only the single men. If you're a single dude and you're rolling down the highway and you're just chilling, or rolling down the road and you're just chilling, and you see some sexy young thing jogging up on the side of the road over there, and she's got the crop top on and some short shorts, and she's getting her sweat on, and you're looking at her and going, "Oh my God." If you want to give it a quick peek, okay. A quick peek. That's it. Don't just sit there and stare at her. She's not a goddamn porno. You're not watching it expecting to make something happen there. Take a quick glance, appreciate what she's got going on, and get back to the road and keep going. You know what? It's not a freaking art museum. You're not going to sit and ponder it for an hour. Don't. Just don't. However, it's more than that. You know what? When there's a car accident, what happens? People get cruising up into the car accident area and they look at, oh shit, what happened there? What happened? Oh God, the front of his car's missing. Oh my God. No, do not look. You want to see what happened in the accident? Check your 7 o'clock news. Chances are to be on the damn news. Or you know what? Throw on the radio, listen to the local traffic report. I bet you it's on there too. Oh, accident at this highway and this highway. Be aware. Yeah. That's all you need to know. There was an accident. Did somebody die? Check your news. Your job is to pay the fuck attention to the damn road. Do not sit and stare at the accident. Do not sit and stare at the muscular construction workers flexing their arms as you're driving past. Don't. Pay attention to the goddamn road. It's not hard, guys. It's really not. If everybody paid attention to the road, paid attention to how they're driving, we'd be a lot better off. And another thing, and this is another cause of traffic jams. People driving like a bunch of jackasses. And you know who you are. You do. You don't go bombing down the road, the highway, doing twice the legal speed limit without knowing that, hey, I'm going a little fast. You know exactly who you are. And it's not just the ones that go super fast, it's also the ones that go super slow. Like where I live, we happen to use, oh wow, hitting some bumpy road, my bad. Where I live, we happen to use the metric system, okay? Which means that all of our speeds are in kilometers per hour. Kilometers. Or time, depending on who you are. I'm driving on the highway, just cruising along, doing my thing, and I'm doing, speed limit's 80, and I'm probably doing about 100. I'll be honest, I do a little faster. Then you'll have some jackass that'll go hauling ass past you doing 130. And for those of you guys in the Imperial system, 100 kilometers an hour is 60 miles an hour, if I'm not mistaken. So 130 kilometers an hour is probably, let's call it 72 miles an hour. Just a rough guess. And then you'll have some jackass who'll come up on you doing about 80 kilometers an hour, and he'll be just puttering along, put. Or even better, he'll do like 70, like 10 under the legal speed limit, or like 35 miles an hour. So you're doing 60 and you roll up on somebody doing like 35, 40 miles an hour, and you're just like, oh my fucking God, move out of the way. It's true. You're causing a traffic jam. If you're a jackass driving way over the speed limit, swerving into traffic, you are causing a traffic jam. You will be the result of a traffic jam, because what's going to happen is you're going to be hauling around, swerving it out. Somebody's going to get scared because you weren't paying attention. You cut a little too close for their comfort, and guess what? They're going to hit the brakes. The guy behind them is going to hit the brakes, and so on and so forth. You just caused a chain reaction of brakes. You just caused a traffic jam. Thanks. You're an asshole. And then there's other things that happen too, like just random stuff. Like, if you're not paying attention and you miss your exit, you have to cut across a couple lanes of traffic and at a slower speed just so you can make that exit. You're going to cause a traffic jam. And another point of concession with the whole traffic thing is, if you're driving down a four-lane highway, okay, and 2 exits from now you have to get off, start moving over. What pisses me off the most about driving is when you're driving along a 4-lane highway or 3-lane highway or whatever, and you've got that guy on the left-hand side, he's on the fast lane, and he's just going, he's like, yeah, look at me, I'm going fast. And then all of a sudden he's just like, oh shit, I gotta get over right now because my lane started right now, and I gotta get off the highway. It's like, dude, it's not like somebody, unless you're on the phone with somebody and like your mom called and she's like, oh my God, your dad's in the hospital, you gotta get here now. Unless something like that happened, and I hope it doesn't, and I apologize if that's happening to you right now. My heart goes out to you, I'm sorry. But for the rest of us, you're probably just cruising along and you're like, oh shit, I'm gonna go home, or oh man, you know what, I want some KFC on the way home, or I want some Sonics, or some, I want to stop at TGI Fridays and get some munchies, get some food. That's okay. You know where you're going. It's not a case of you're like, oh shit, here driving along, oh shit, I want to go to that store right there, right. No. Most people know exactly where they're going well in advance. So it should not come to a surprise to you that your exit is coming up. If it is, If you're driving along and suddenly you're like, oh my God, my exit's right now, you're not paying attention to what you're doing. You're a danger. So, I mean, traffic as a whole is just a big frustration. I mean, there's so many causes to traffic that it's mind-boggling just how many things can ultimately lead to a traffic jam. People not paying attention, people driving too fast, people driving too slow. At the end of the day, you know what? It's pretty straightforward. When you're driving, just pay attention to the road, pay attention to the vehicles around you, not just your own car. You know, because it's ultimately, if you're driving smart and you're following the rules of the road appropriately and driving according to road and weather conditions, you know what? If you're driving like that, all you got to do is make sure you're paying attention to the people around you as well. Because you might be driving along and look at the guy over here on the left, he's on his cell phone chatting away, and you know, he's not paying attention to the road. Or the car on the right, it's a mom fighting with her two kids, and she's definitely looking in the back seat trying to give her kids shit for fighting with each other. You know, you've got to be mindful of that kind of stuff, right? So just pay attention when you're driving. That's all I ask. Be safe, pay attention, and for the love of God, if you're on a 2-lane or higher road, do not stay in the innermost lane. That is a passing lane. If you look, it is for passing. It's not a get in there and drive as fast as possible because I'm a dick lane. It is I need to pass somebody who's going a little bit slower than I am, and so that I can continue to safely travel down this road lane. Don't be a dick. That's all I ask you. So, that being said, I could rant and rave about traffic for hours upon end. I mean, honestly, I drive in Toronto, Ontario. In Toronto, I've been told, is very much like driving in Los Angeles or New York or Chicago and other major cities where there's a lot of high density population. You know, it's frustrating. It can be. You find ways around it. You know, you find things that you can do. You find the appropriate times to leave. Take, for example, where I am. If I leave at 3:30 to leave my office to head home for the day, the drive is a lot nicer. There's not as much traffic. Whereas if I leave at 5, I'm going to fight traffic for a lot longer trying to get home. Right? So, you know, you kind of learn ways around it. And like you said, just be smart when you're driving. That's the big thing. Traffic is regardless, it's going to happen until we've got cars that can essentially pilot themselves, and every car on the road pilots itself, and all you have to do is set destinations. It's never going to happen. It's not going to be something that is getting removed. Humans as a whole. Shout out to McDonald's. Oh, excuse me. Shout out to McDonald's for their $1 drink days, by the way. $1 for a drink, a large drink, freaking awesome. Love it. As long as humans are interacting with cars, there's always going to be some version of traffic. There's always going to be an opportunity for accidents, because at the end of the day, humans are not perfect, and that's fine. So just be mindful of what's going on around you. Take your time. Leave early. You know, if you are late, don't drive around like an idiot. It's not going to help you get there any faster. If you actually sit down and do the math, for you to travel, say, 120 kilometers, if you do 120 traveling that distance, or actually 100 kilometers, let's say 60 miles even, if you're going to travel that at 60 miles an hour, it's going to take you an hour. If you do it at 70 miles an hour, is it going to save you that much time? Nope. Because when you do the math, you realize, oh, you know what, you got, what's that, like 18%, 14% upgrade, something like that. And if you look at the improvements on your time, it's going to save you a couple of minutes, maybe. So you're going to ultimately risk a speeding ticket or risk a pissing people off and whatnot for a few minutes? Come on now. You're better than that. So, with that being said, that's all I want to talk to you about today, guys. Traffic. It's a big frustration. It's something we all deal with. And it's something that hopefully, as we all progressively get smarter as drivers and we pay more attention to what's going on around us, in the lanes around us, and we're more aware and we stop looking at all the other crap around us, it'll hopefully diminish. So, but with that being said, I'm going to leave you guys at that for the day. This has been The Daily Drive. I will talk to you guys tomorrow with a new topic. Have a good day.